At the Learning Planet Festival, we unite and empower thousands of engaged and active youth like you to advance learning on how to protect our planet, take the stage and add your voices to fundamental issues, shape the next generation of youth rights, and interact with thought leaders, educators, social innovators, and game changers creating the future of learning. Because coming together and learning to take care of oneself, others, and the planet is how we power up to shape and own our future. So come on to the Learning Planet Festival and bring your friends.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our workshop. And today we're going to talk about bridging healthcare accessibility gaps and the CareBridge initiative. So, hi, I'm Sarah Zoe, and I'm the founder and the president of the CareBridge initiative. I created the app CareBridge to showcase AI's potential in solving healthcare challenges. Today, I'm here to share with you how I built the app and the plans for improving it. We would love to collect your feedback as well about CareBridge at the end of the workshop. To introduce myself, I am a STEM student at Castalia School, and I'm really passionate about using AI to positively impact the world. Besides the CareBridge initiative, I founded the AI for Good Causes Club of my school to teach my peers about AI fundamentals, AI ethics, and how to use AI to solve real-world problems. In addition to AI and STEM, I also play volleyball on my school's varsity team and at the Academy Volleyball Club, and I've been playing piano since I was 8. And this is our guest speaker and ambassador, Chloe.
Hi, I'm Chloe. I'm also a Castalia student. I'm interested in mental health and neuropsychology. If you don't know, neuropsychology is a study of the psychological processes through the brain and how it affects behavior and mood. I love to express myself in various ways, such as using my creativity to make different films about mental health and highlighting how it's okay to speak up, even when things can be frightening.
So before diving into the technology behind CareBridge, I'll be introducing you to UNESCO, the Learning Planet Institute, and the Learning Planet Festival. For those of you who don't know UNESCO, it is the United Nations educational, scientific, and cultural organization. UNESCO seeks to build peace through international cooperation in education, science, and culture. And UNESCO's constitution was adopted in 1945 and came into force in 1946. There are hundreds of projects hosted on UNESCO that focus on health education, AI education, and AI ethics, with CareBridge being one of them. CareBridge is a youth-led initiative that aims to bridge healthcare accessibility gaps by leveraging AI, and we'll share more about CareBridge later. If you didn't know already, this meeting right now is part of the 2025 Learning Planet Festival. UNESCO and the Learning Planet Institute are partners in the Learning Planet International Alliance, which is a global community that aims to transform education. The Learning Planet Institute's mission is to reinvent education for all ages and build a society that can stand up to global challenges. It achieves its mission through developing interdisciplinary programs, creating new ways of learning, and transforming education for the modern world. It was also built on the idea that learning should be happening everywhere, beyond school, should be accessible to everyone, and promote a sustainable future. CareBridge intends to build a more equitable future in healthcare, which is well aligned with the Learning Planet Institute's mission. We're honored to have this opportunity to work with the Learning Planet Institute's powerful worldwide network. And finally, I'll introduce the Learning Planet Festival, which is a yearly conference that celebrates education and learning. So we're invited to speak at the Learning Planet Festival because its theme is co-designing the future of learning with youth. And we're so excited to launch CareBridge at this festival event so you can connect with others on this platform to amplify CareBridge's impact. Also, a fun fact is that today, which is January 24th, is also the UN's International Day of Education. So we're here not only to celebrate the launching of CareBridge, but also the International Day of Education. So now let me introduce you to CareBridge. CareBridge is an Android app that's powered by AI And its target audience includes those who can't afford the high healthcare costs, those who can't access healthcare due to geographic barriers, and those who have visual impairments. I believe healthcare access should be a human right, so I created CareBridge to empower users with the tools and information they need to access healthcare regardless of their conditions or situation. Healthcare accessibility gaps are serious global challenges, so I'm going to share more context on that. According to the World Bank and WHO, the World Health Organization, half of the world's population doesn't have access to essential healthcare. About 100 million people worldwide are pushed into extreme poverty due to the healthcare costs, and there are around 2.2 billion people worldwide with visual impairments. CareBridge has features specially designed for visually impaired users, and there's a personal reason why I included that. This is because in 2023, my mom developed a rare disease that caused her cornea to detach in her eye, so I witnessed challenges that she encountered while visually impaired. Simple tasks like typing on the phone became incredibly difficult, but luckily my family had good healthcare coverage, so my mom was able to receive treatments and recover quickly. Unfortunately, that is not the case for many people around the world, which motivated me to create CareBridge. So these are some of CareBridge's features. It includes a doctor chatbot, which is powered by ChatGPT, and it offers preliminary diagnoses for given symptoms. It includes a set of information cards to give medical advice for common symptoms, and those information cards have a built-in speech-to-text capability. It connects users to 3 of the world's largest online pharmacies, Amazon, Health Warehouse, and All Day Chemist, and it automatically shows healthcare providers near a user's location or any tap location on the map, so there's no need to type a search query. And the technology behind CareBridge includes how the app was written in Java and built using the Android SDK. It uses common building blocks from the SDK, such as web views, map view, and the text-to-speech feature. The Doctor chatbot is also powered by ChatGPT's API. And to put it differently, ChatGPT provides the preliminary diagnoses based on the given symptoms. And to find the healthcare providers near any location on the map, the app also uses the Google Map Places API. And the app also used a few open source libraries to help with networking, web service calls, and image loading. So now I'm going to walk you through the data flows behind the features that I previously mentioned. First, we're going to take a look at the Doctor Chatbot feature. And here I actually use both the Google Dialog ES API and the ChatGPT API. I use the Dialog ES APIs to drive the conversation with the user and collect the user's symptoms. After we collect all the symptoms, it's sent to the ChatGPT API to get a preliminary diagnosis. And next is the medical information cards. So here it shows a collection of cards for common medical conditions, such as fever, headache, and flu. Each card contains a description of the medical condition and suggested treatments. And each card also has a menu text-to-speech button, which reads out the text. And next is the online pharmacy feature. It uses the Android's embedded browser, which are also called web views, to load the websites of 3 online pharmacies, which, as I previously mentioned, are Amazon Pharmacy, Health Warehouse, and All Day Chemist. And lastly is the accessible map feature. So this feature was built using the Android's WebView and the Google Map Places API. And it works by first getting the latitude and longitude of a tap location or the user's current location. It then uses the latitude and longitude as parameters to call the Places API and get a list of nearby healthcare providers, then drawing them as red markers. And when the user taps on specific markers, the Places API is called again to get the details like the title, description, and photos for that particular healthcare provider, and then display it in a pop-up view. So this is a video demo of how to use the app and the app experience.
Hi, let me introduce you to CareBridge. This is CareBridge. It has 3 main pages. This is its homepage called Medical Help. In this page, you can either chat with the doctor bot or look at the information cards in the medical toolkit. Let's chat with the doctor bot. We can start by saying, "Hi, doctor." We can also list our symptoms. I have itchy skin. I have red bumps. My skin is dry and cracked. Since that's it, we can say, "That's all." Now we can ask, "What's wrong?" to get our diagnosis. The doctor has told us that we have eczema and we should use the cortisone 10 cream. With this information, we can go to the online pharmacy. Here, we have 3 options in the menu. We can go to the Health Warehouse Pharmacy, All Day Chemist Pharmacy, and the Amazon Pharmacy. Let's choose the Amazon Pharmacy. We can now search for our cortisone 10 cream. If you scroll down, we can see the cortisone 10 cream right here. If we want to go back, we could just press the back button up here. Now let's go back to the medical help page. These are the information cards about common diseases, such as fever. In this information card, we can see common fever symptoms and how to treat them. For those with visual impairments, we can go to the menu here and press Speak Text.
Common fever symptoms including feeling unwell. You might feel hot and sweaty.
When you're
have
done
chills and
listening,
shivering.
you can press
Elevated
Stop
body
Speaking. Now let's go to the map. This map was specially designed for those with visual impairments because there's no need to use a search query. It gives you the user's location and nearby care providers. So we can press over here to find the Palo Alto Medical Foundation, or we can go here, the Kaiser Permanente. If you want, you can even go to all the way across the country, like New York. Where's New York? Oh, here, I saw, okay. So we can just press, and here are the nearby care providers. University Radiology. If you want, you could even go to a different country, like China. Let's go to Beijing. Just press, and we can see nearby care providers. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Oh no.
Hi, let me introduce.
Okay. So some future enhancements of CareBridge include enhancing the chat experience with speech to text and text to speech so that all of the features are friendly for visually impaired users. And the information cards feature currently has a small collection, and we want to add more to it to increase coverage for common symptoms. And we also want to port the CareBridge app to the iOS so that iPhone users can also benefit from it. And now we're going to do our live panel discussion about CareBridge with our guest speaker, Chloe. And to prepare for this discussion, we actually sent out surveys to identify 5 questions that got the most interest. So the first question is CareBridge localizable so that people around the world can use it?
So, yes, CareBridge can be localized to non-English languages. CareBridge's main features can work in most of the countries around the world, except for those not supported by ChatGPT or Google Maps.
Cool. And since CareBridge accesses user symptoms and location, how does the app preserve user privacy?
So, the app does not keep any user-sensitive info. All the symptoms and location info is gone when the app is shut down. A user can turn off the location service on their Android phone if they're like concerned about sharing their location. The app will respect this, but that does mean that the map feature will not work while using the app.
And lastly, how can youth, like young people, help to make CareBridge better and more robust?
Youth can help identify more opportunities for CareBridge's help. For example, mental health issues have become more prevalent among high school students, yet they may be reluctant to discuss their sources of stress with others, or they just don't have time to see a therapist or a psychiatrist. It would be great if they can seek private advice from CareBridge and do so conveniently. So, I was wondering if CareBridge uses ChatGPT API, then why does it need to use the Dialog ES API?
So it uses the dialogue ES to drive the conversation with the user and collect their symptoms. Then we send the collected symptoms to the ChatGPT API to get the diagnoses. In the future, we can consider moving all the conversation to ChatGPT if the cost is not too high, since we use the paid version of the ChatGPT API.
So, what if CareBridge gives incorrect diagnosis? How do you plan to mitigate this?
And this could happen if either the symptoms collected are incomplete or incorrect, or when ChatGPT could not diagnose a particular disease. Currently, we are mitigating this by asking patients follow-up questions to ensure the complete collection of their symptoms, like how the doctor bot consistently asked what else in the video demo to get all the symptoms. We also plan to add a reminder to our users to get official diagnoses from doctors if they're doubtful about the doctor bot's response. And that sums up our live panel discussion. And thank you so much for coming. To summarize, CareBridge is a youth-led initiative that aims to bridge the healthcare accessibility gaps by using AI. And you can stay connected by scanning this QR code below to learn more about CareBridge. And feel free to ask any questions by unmuting or sending in the chat. Okay, so one of the questions is, how long did it take to build the app? So it took me 3 months to learn all the technology and another 3 to build the app. But I learned all the technology over the summer of 2023 by taking a class about Android development. And I also built simpler apps before CareBridge as well. And another question is, what is Dialog ES API? And basically, it's Google's API to help people build the chatbot experience. So that's why I use it in my app. In the future, we are planning for it to be free, but it currently is not in the App Store or in the Google Play Store because CareBridge is still a prototype, and I'm working on brainstorming ideas to improve it and make it more valuable, as well as upgrading the features. Um, I used English to build the app. Oh, I see. No, I used I used Java and Kotlin to build the app. And Kotlin is actually a programming language and the language recommended by Google for developing Android apps. But I also use the Android Studio to develop the app. And if you have any more questions about that, you can also scan the QR code since it leads to the CareBridge GitHub page. So what is happening with the CareBridge initiative? So in the future, our plans are to start a nonprofit organization and fundraise to especially help those who can't afford the high cost of healthcare, to help them get the treatment that they need. But before that, we have to collect more feedback and brainstorm ideas about what more we can do with CareBridge and in the CareBridge initiative. So if there aren't any more questions, I'll be it for this workshop. Thank you everybody for coming.